Hello, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make a block that is in my encyclopedia, and the block is called Antique Tile. Turquoise just happens to be my favorite color, and I thought this block would look really pretty with some shades of turquoise. I have some fat quarters that I got at Joann's. I'm also using a Kona Charm Pack white 5-inch squares. I will also put the cutting instructions in the description below. To make this block as I am showing it, you will need one 4.5-inch square of lighter fabric and 3 5-inch squares of the same lighter fabric, 2 5-inch squares of white, and 3 5-inch squares of a darker fabric. I am making what I call half-square rectangles. I am drawing a line at 2.5 inches on both white squares and on the wrong side of one of the lighter squares. Now, very similar to how we make a half square triangle, I'm putting a white piece on top of the right side of a light colored square. I'm going to sew approximately 1/4 inch on both sides of that line. And since I have 3 of these to do, I will do them all at the same time and just flip around and sew back down the other side. Now the lighter square that we drew a line on the wrong side, we're going to put that right sides together with one of the darker squares. And now that we've sewn one side of the line, we can flip this around and sew back down the other side of the line. Our next step is to cut these apart, and then we will cut and separate these by cutting on the line we drew. And before I move on, I will take these to the iron and press them open to the darker side. The light and the white go into the square, into the block just like they are, but this light and dark, we're going to join that up with a dark square. We're going to draw a line on the wrong side of our light and dark piece, and then we are going to join it to a dark 5-inch square. And I am drawing this line at 2.5 inches. Now we'll place this unit right sides together with one of the dark 5-inch squares. We're going to sew on both sides of that line, about 1/4 inch away. Now we will cut these on that line that we drew, and we will press those open. All of the 8 outer units need to be trimmed to 4.5 inches. To do the white and the light blocks, I need to line up that line, the seam line, with 2.25 inches on my ruler. So trimming these little corner blocks is a little trickier because one side is already pretty close to 4.5 inches. Since we sewed that seam already, we're going to line up where the 2 seams cross in the middle with 2.25 inches horizontally and vertically. Now we're going to lay this out. We put a light square in the middle. We put the white and the light on the T sections with the white facing the inside. And then we put the corner blocks in with the light also facing the inside and the dark facing the outside. So we're going to sew these rows together, 1 square at a time, and then we'll sew the 3 rows together. Some of these squares are going to require a little bit of nesting, where we catch and lock the 2 seams that are going opposite directions, and then I'm going to clip that into place and then stitch it down. And now it's time to put row 1 with row 2, and I am using clips to match up those seams and make sure they're nesting well. With those 3 rows sewn together, I trimmed all the loose threads, then I took it to the iron and pressed it flat. And here is our finished antique tile block. I really love the way it turned out, and I'm going to make some more of these. I've already cut out the pieces, so I'm ready to go. I hope you had fun. I hope you'll see this as a possibility of something you may want to do in the future. Lots of different color combinations would work well with this block. Thanks very much for joining me today, and I hope I see you back again soon.